What is up? What is cracking? Collective. It's your girl Ash, aka Goddess Ghost, in the building. I'm busy back, babies, and that's on point blank. Period. Here to give a message, here to tell the story, here to give a word. Now remember, this message, this story, this word may not resonate with you at all. But if you're like, yo, Ash, that was me in the past, I can resonate with you because that was simply me in the past, make sure you hit the like button. If you're like, yo, Ash, that's me right now, I'm going through that right now, make sure you hit the like button right now, right? And in this message, and in this story, and in this word, it's simply about somebody that feels this heaviness on their heart, maybe a heaviness on their soul, or maybe this was in the past. Maybe they just felt this heaviness. And if you're going through this right now, you might just simply feel this heaviness. And sometimes this heaviness just makes you feel like you can't breathe. Or sometimes you feel like, man, how am I even still breathing? And maybe for some of us, we have felt like, man, why am I even still breathing? Why am I even still here? And maybe some of us would be like, no, I never had those thoughts. I never wondered that, right? I never experienced that, right? I never gone through that, right? But some of us have. Maybe the pressure of life has held us down. Maybe the heaviness of just living has made things hard to breathe. Maybe people around us has enclosed us in so much we feel like we can't breathe. And maybe some of y'all are like me. It's like when people get too close to me, or I'm in a too close of an environment around a whole bunch of people, I'm like, I can't even breathe. Right? And you start to feel this tension, right? And when you always trying to, read the room, and there's too many people in the room to read, you just like, man, I just feel all these different tensions. I feel all these different energies. I feel all these different emotions, and I just feel, right? Or maybe some of y'all has got a no after no after no after no, or maybe you just feel like, man, I've got no progress, and knowing I need to progress, but I got no progress, and this is not progressing, and I ain't got that to progress. And it's a heaviness on me. Or meeting up to maybe your parents' expectations is just a heaviness that's on you. Maybe meeting up to your children's expectations has a heaviness on you. Maybe meeting up to your partner's expectations has a level of heaviness on you. Maybe living up to your co-workers and your boss's expectations just simply have a heaviness on you. And when you have everybody else that has this expectation of you, you start to put more heaviness on yourself. Like, even though they got the heaviness on me, I'm putting more heaviness on myself. Or just certain things that I feel, and now I got all this heaviness on myself. And I just don't feel good, and everything in my body is just heavy. Have you ever felt like that? Like, man, my whole body is just simply so heavy. My whole head is just simply so heavy. Everything is just simply so heavy. Everything that I am living, breathing, and trying to be is just simply so heavy. Just all this heaviness on me. And when you start to feel the tension and the burning, and you wishing that you can talk to somebody about it, but you don't have nobody to talk to about it. Have you ever felt like that? Like, man, I wish I had somebody to talk to about it. I wish that maybe even somebody can just read my mind. Like, man, can you come in and just read my mind? Can you come in and just read my mind and you tell me how I feel, what I'm actually feeling on the inside of me? Can you come in and read my mind? Right? You know? And some of y'all often are very hypersensitive towards other people's feelings and other people's emotions, and maybe sometimes you are way too hypersensitive of other people's feelings and other people's emotions, and you like, look, I just don't want to piss you off. I don't want to make you mad. I don't want to make him mad. I don't want to make her mad, because I already know, you know what I'm saying, I'm very hypersensitive to their feelings and to their emotions. I don't want to make you mad. I don't want to upset you. I don't want to rock the boat, right? Some of y'all that I'm talking to, you rather just put all the heaviness on you because you don't want to rock the boat.
You made this? Isaiah, you made this?
And maybe y'all are supportive, or you are the support system for other people, right? And then you like, man, you know, I need that support, right? I need that support. And maybe it's vice versa, right? Maybe you have been that support system, and now it's people that's supporting you. Have you ever have it made you emotional when you have supported somebody else and that person supports you? And maybe sometimes when we think about heaviness, maybe sometimes we ain't thinking about even a bad thing with heaviness. What if it was a good thing about heaviness? What if this heaviness was a good thing? Like, man, I'm going through something, but you know, the love that I've gotten, or the love that I've seen, or the love that I see other people have for other people, it brings heaviness to me. Have you ever seen somebody do something just so beautiful for another person, or just was so empathetic towards another person, and it just made your heart heavy? But heavy in a good way. You know? It's like somebody that may not have it, but they still give it to you because you need it. The whole time they really don't got it.
Isaiah, you made this?
And it's like, look, I just want to give it to you. I just want to do it for you because I know that you need it and I got it. Have you ever been so grateful for support, so grateful for love, so grateful for understanding, you know? Sometimes, you know, the heaviness don't have to be so bad, right? and when we think about heaviness, all we think about is the moment of it's being heavy. Oh my God, this is what I'm going through. And we forget how every time that we have went through something heavy, that we have picked ourselves back up, or we always forget that every time we have went through something heavy, you know what I'm saying, it was always light at the end of the tunnel. It was always some light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we have forgot. Maybe sometimes we forget. And maybe sometimes this is like a reminder for us, a reminder to us, a reminder that God has given us, like, don't forget the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't care how dark it is. I don't care that you can't see anything but that one speck of light is still light at the end of the tunnel. That means it's still a possibility. And we think about possibilities, even if it's more no's around than yeses, it's still that one yes. And all it takes is just one yes. All it takes is just one person to come in and change our entire life. All it takes is one day to come in and change our entire life. All it takes is just one belief in ourselves that can change our entire life. All it takes is one event and our happening that happens that change our entire life. All it takes is just one thing. And all it takes is just one simple belief. One itty bitty belief, one itty bitty light. And maybe some people would say, like, man, how can you be in darkness? Or how can you be in the dark? How can you grow inside of the dark? And I always have to remind myself that, man, the most beautifulest things in the world has grown from the dark. When we are inside of our mother's womb, it's dark. When everything that is growing inside of everything, every living thing has came from the darkness. Absolutely everything has started out in the dark. But it don't stay in the dark. It comes up from the dark. But sometimes at the end of the day, we got to remind ourselves that, man, I got to grow through the dark. Or the darkness is just simply where I grow. The heaviness, until the heaviness becomes so strong that I can't breathe, that I can't do anything but break free. Have you ever experienced that before? Whereas it became so heavy that you can't breathe. Or have you ever felt like that before, where you was just in the same environment, or you was giving in to the same people, and you was the yes man, the yes girl, and you was like, look, man, I can't breathe here, I can't do this, I can't tell you yes when I mean no. I gotta tell you no, because that's what I mean, it's no. Maybe some of us have experienced that. Where we've been run over until we just say, look, I can't breathe anymore. I gotta say no. Because if I don't say no, you will run over me. If I don't tell you how I truly feel, you will run over me. So sometimes that's where it all starts, is in the dark. Sometimes it all starts sitting in your bed, crying day after day, night after night. Sometimes it's just simply where it starts. But that doesn't mean that's where it ends, right? That's just where it begins. And maybe for some of us, that's just our place where it all begins. Where we find our breath. Like I have found my breath. Like after the world has put this heaviness on me, man, I can just go in my bed and get under the covers and breathe. Like, no, I don't want to party. I just want to go home and breathe. I just want to go home and breathe, right? I just want to go home. you know? And for some of us, our heaviness, our problems, our issues will be invalid to other people, but that's no problem, because know that what's valid for them don't have to be valid for us, and what's invalid for us don't have to be invalid for them. So we understand about truth, justice, and being invalid. You know, sometimes we gotta laugh at the invalid. Like, you know, your opinion is invalid, and I'll just laugh at the invalid. But I'll respect your invalid, and I'll still respect you.
You made this?
Even if I feel like it's invalid. Have you ever just tried to be valid to a person that always wanted to look at you as invalid? Have you ever tried to show people like, look, man, this is what I'm doing. This is so well. This is so good. I believe in it. I want to do it. I'm doing well in it. And everybody around you just thinks it's invalid. They just think it's invalid, you know? Like you're tripping. Or have you ever had a dream and everybody like, look, man, that dream is invalid. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you hear somebody tell you that your dream is invalid, it's like you can't breathe, right? It's like this stab in the heart. It's like, man, another person saying my dream is invalid. And sometimes that's real heavy, right? And sometimes that can put you in a negative headspace, right? Sometimes that can have you not believe in your dreams once again, right? Or maybe you just like, man, maybe my dreams will never come true once again. Have you ever had more than one dream, right? Like, yeah, at that point in time, that was my dream. And at this point in time, this is my dream. But the only reason why I left from that dream to that dream to that dream is because it was always somebody saying, homie, that can't be your dream. It's invalid. So maybe you took a rest. Maybe you gave up. Maybe you stopped believing in your dream because you felt the tension of other people. And maybe you just never had nobody else around you to tell you, like, man, I simply believe in your dream. Maybe you never had an investor. Maybe you never invested in your dream simply because nobody else believed in your dream. And sometimes that's all we want. It's like that one yes, right? That one yes. That one yes. That one light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes that's all we want. And I pray that those that I'm talking to, that it has been heavy for them, I hope that you get that one yes. And sometimes, you know, it's people out here that's homeless. It's people out here that is struggling. It's people out here that needs money. It's people out here that is helpless. It's people out here that need something. And it's people out here that's like, man, you've been standing right here all day, but I'm gonna be that one yes. And maybe if you've been standing out here an hour and you got all no's, but matter of fact, in this hour, I'm gonna be that one yes for you. I'm gonna be that one yes for you. I'm gonna be that one yes for you. Because you wouldn't be doing this, or you wouldn't be out here if you don't have no heaviness on you. And you know what inspires me is people that's going through so much and they can still smile. They can smile through it all. They still have a smile on their face as they go through it all. As they try to be a mother to their children. And they still smile through it all. As they still try to be a father to their children and still smile through it all. I believe in you. Sometimes that's what we need, is just somebody to tell us, I believe in you. 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 I believe in you that you can make resolutions. I believe that you can come up with solutions. I believe that even though you down, you will pick yourself back up. I believe that you won't forever be a fuck up. I believe you can turn your life around. I believe in you. It's like when you see something in somebody. It's not like I'm looking at your physical, but I'm looking at your internal. I'm looking and seeing what's internally inside of you. And I don't care what anybody else got to say around you. I don't care if anybody else laugh at you. I don't care if anybody else clown you. I believe in you. I believe in you. And I know that one day, even though it's not today, even though it might not be tomorrow, or maybe it wasn't in the last couple months, or maybe it's not a week from now or a month from now, but I can guarantee that I believe in you, that one day, somehow, the heaviness won't always be on you. And you will break away from that heaviness. You will break away from this disbelief. Disbelief in yourself. Disbelief that you can't make it. Disbelief that you can't do it. Disbelief that you will never get a yes out of the whole bunch of no's that you have gotten. Disbelief that you have kept on telling yourself no and no. And belief in the one yes that you just need to give yourself. So I understand how it feels to just can't breathe. I understand the heaviness. But I believe that one day we will come up out of this heaviness. And the main thing to come up out of any type of heaviness is not to give up. Not just on ourselves, but another person. I will not give up on you. So don't give up on yourself. That is my message. That is my story. That is my word. Never forget that I believe in you. Even when you don't believe in yourself. And I hope y'all got some type of value out of this. I'll be busy back, baby. Peace.